Welcome to Midnight Horrors. Dive into chilling tales and dark mysteries. Subscribe for more spine-tingling stories. Story 1. The Howl in the Night. Introduction. Oren Redfeather, an experienced photographer with a love for the wild and untamed, found himself drawn to the eerie allure of the Black Forest in Germany. Tasked with capturing the untouched beauty of lesser-known trails for a hiking magazine, Oren sets out alone into the dense and mysterious woods. Little does he know something ancient and malevolent lies in wait, hidden in the shadows of the towering trees. Oren's journey into the Black Forest begins as he immerses himself in the autumn colors, capturing the serene yet haunting atmosphere. The forest is quiet, almost too quiet, with a thick mist clinging to the forest floor, creating an otherworldly ambience. As night falls, Oren finds a secluded mountain hut to spend the night. The wind picks up, and the forest seems to come alive with whispers. As Oren settles in, he hears it a low, resonant howl that sends chills down his spine. He tries to convince himself it's just a wolf, but deep down, he knows something is wrong. The night grows darker, and Oren's unease turns to fear. The howl returns, this time closer, more menacing. Oren locks the door and tries to sleep, but every sound outside the hut keeps him on edge. The forest outside is alive with movement, shadows flickering in the moonlight. Suddenly, a loud thump on the hut's wall jolts Oren awake. The howl echoes once more, and this time it feels as if the creature is right outside. Oren's camera, left on the windowsill, captures a brief, blurry image of something large and fur-covered passing by. Oren barely sleeps that night, and by dawn, he feels foolish for letting his imagination run wild. He inspects the area around the hut, but finds nothing out of the ordinary. Determined to continue his assignment, Oren ventures deeper into the forest, but the feeling of being watched grows stronger. The forest seems to close in around him, the shadows darker and more oppressive. Every snap of a twig makes him jump, and he begins to question his sanity. As Oren follows the overgrown trail, he spots something moving in the distance. At first, it appears to be a man, but as he gets closer, he realizes it's not human. The creature is tall, muscular, and covered in dark fur with glowing amber eyes and a wolf-like snout. Oren freezes, unable to move as the creature watches him from the shadows. When the creature lets out a howl, Oren's instincts take over, and he runs, leaving his equipment behind. The creature gives chase, and Oren barely escapes with his life, stumbling out of the forest onto a main trail where other hikers find him, terrified and breathless. Oren never retrieves his lost equipment and vows never to return to the Black Forest. The encounter haunts him, and even in the safety of his home, he can't shake the feeling of being watched. The creature's howl echoes in his mind, a constant reminder of the terror that lurks in the depths of the Black Forest. Story 2. The Watcher in the Woods. A seasoned hiker and outdoorsman, Elias Whiteclay has always been fascinated by the mysterious allure of the Black Forest. When he receives an invitation to explore some of the lesser-known trails for a travel magazine, Elias jumps at the chance. But as he ventures deeper into the forest, he begins to realize that something is watching him, something ancient, malevolent, and very much alive. Elias's journey into the Black Forest begins, with excitement as he navigates the overgrown trails, capturing the beauty of the untouched wilderness. But as the day wears on, the forest takes on a darker tone. The shadows grow longer, and the silence becomes deafening. Elias can't shake the feeling that he's being watched. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig sets his nerves on edge. By the time he reaches the first hut, Elias is on high alert, his instincts telling him that something is wrong. That night, Elias hears strange noises outside the hut, heavy footsteps, the snap of branches, and a low, guttural growl. He peers out the window, but the darkness reveals nothing. Unable to sleep, Elias spends the night in a state of heightened awareness, his senses on overdrive. The next morning, he finds strange tracks around the hut, large and clawed, unlike anything he's ever seen. The sense of being watched intensifies as Elias continues his journey, but he presses on, determined to complete his assignment. As Elias hikes deeper into the forest, the sense of being watched becomes overwhelming. He catches glimpses of movement out of the corner of his eye, but when he turns to look, there's nothing there. The forest seems to close in around him, the trees towering over him like ancient sentinels. Then, just as he's about to turn back, Elias sees a figure standing in the shadows, watching him. It's tall, muscular, and covered in dark fur with glowing amber eyes that pierce through the darkness. The creature steps forward, and Elias realizes that it's not human. It's something else, something ancient and malevolent. Panic sets in as Elias realizes he's not alone in the forest. The creature moves with unnatural speed, closing the distance between them in seconds. Elias runs, his heart pounding in his chest as he navigates the dark, overgrown trails. The creature is right behind him, its heavy footfalls echoing in the night. Elias stumbles and falls, but somehow manages to get back up and keep running. He finally bursts out of the forest onto a main trail, where he collapses, exhausted and terrified. The creature is gone, but the feeling of being watched remains. Elias never returns to the Black Forest. The encounter leaves him shaken, and he can't shake the feeling of being watched. Even in the safety of his own home, the creature haunts his nightmares, its glowing eyes a constant reminder of the terror that lurks in the depths of the Black Forest. Elias warns others to stay away from the forest, but few believe his story until they experience it for themselves. Story 3. The Final Warning. John Black Elk is no stranger to the supernatural. As a native of the Mescalero Apache Reservation, he's heard countless stories of spirits and creatures that haunt the wilderness. When he receives a call from a friend who recently had a terrifying encounter in the Black Forest, John agrees to accompany him back to the site to retrieve his lost equipment. But as they venture into the forest, they soon realize that something is still watching and it's not happy. John's friend, Torin, is visibly shaken when they meet up. He recounts his encounter with a creature in the Black Forest, a tall, fur-covered beast with glowing amber eyes. John is skeptical, but agrees to help Oren retrieve his lost equipment. They set out early in the morning, hoping to get in and out of the forest before anything else happens. But as they approach the site, John begins to feel a growing sense of unease. The forest is unnaturally quiet, and the shadows seem to move on their own. As John and Oren make their way deeper into the forest, the feeling of being watched intensifies. John, who has experienced the supernatural before it looks like I reach the character limit, and the content was cut off before I could complete the third story. If you would like, I can continue from where we left off to expand the story to meet the 2,000-word target. Or if you prefer, I can adjust the content to fit a different requirement. Let me know how you'd like to proceed. John, who has experienced the supernatural before, feels a familiar tingle at the back of his neck, a warning. As they near the location where Oren left his equipment, the forest seems to come alive. The trees creak and groan, and the wind picks up, swirling leaves around their feet. The air is thick with tension, and every shadow seems to hide something sinister. They find Oren's backpack untouched, but the sense of dread is overwhelming. John can feel the eyes of the forest on them, watching their every move. As they turn to leave, John catches a glimpse of something moving in the shadows, a dark, hulking figure with glowing eyes. The creature from Oren's story is real, and it's not happy to see them. John and Oren try to leave the forest as quickly as possible, but the path seems to twist and turn, leading them deeper into the woods instead of out. The creature follows them, always just out of sight, but its presence is palpable. The wind howls, and the trees seem to close in around them, creating a labyrinthine maze that traps them within. Panic sets in as they realize they are lost. Oren, already shaken from his previous encounter, begins to lose his composure. John tries to keep them calm, but the creature's heavy footfalls echo through the forest, growing closer with each passing moment. The realization hits them they may never escape. Desperate, John stops in a small clearing and turns to face the approaching creature. He remembers the stories from his childhood to tales of ancient spirits that protect the forest from intruders. This creature is no ordinary beast. It is a guardian, angered by their trespass. John speaks to the creature in his native language, asking for forgiveness and promising never to return. The forest falls silent, and for a moment it seems as if the creature has accepted his plea. But then the creature steps into the clearing, its massive form towering over them. It lets out a deafening roar, a final warning to leave and never return. John and Oren manage to find their way out of the forest, but the experience leaves them both shaken. They vow never to return to the Black Forest, knowing that the creature, the guardian, will not tolerate another intrusion. The memory of those glowing eyes and the creature's final roar haunts them both, a reminder that some places are best left undisturbed. They return to their lives, forever changed by their encounter with the unknown. Thank you for watching our video. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more terrifying stories and eerie encounters, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Your support helps us create more spine-chilling videos that keep you on the edge of your seat. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Also, feel free to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.